Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. And I'm going to give you my financial opinions across the board. If you're interested or you need help with anything, you can check out finding-value.com. We do have a 50% coupon going on. August is the coupon code. And we have a platinum question and answer session at 5 p.m. Sunday. If you'd like to join, ask questions, or just participate or be there to listen to everyone else's questions, as there's always a lot of questions. And we do talk about individual companies as well. All right, let's dive in here and see what's going on in the markets today. So we continue to have dollar strength and yields going up. So again, the dollar is more or less just a measurement of its monetary tightness versus, I should say, yields versus the yields of other currencies. And then they just look at the difference between the currencies. So these could be falling. All currencies could be falling. But this one is stronger than this one, which is falling greater. And what determines this rate of falling is the strength of their bond markets and the yields behind it. So we're going up. We've kind of broken this little guy there. And we're breaking out to the upside for the dollar, which in my opinion means that yields are probably going to go up. So we've got yields going higher, up 1.05% on the 2-year. You can also do a little bit of almost a breakout here. So we're coming up. We might break out here. Let's just wait and see. We've got the 10-year boogieing higher here. It's going. Yesterday we had the big bullish engulfing. That's this guy here. That's a bottoming pattern to move higher, and that's what we're doing. We are moving higher, and we'll see how sustaining that movement is. The 30-year also bouncing on up and moving higher today, 0.73%. The 10-year up a lot more than the 30-year, which means the curve is inverting. So if you look at the TYX TNX ratio, it is inverting and going lower. And what that means is stronger yields that are inverting with the dollar going up, that is generally a headwind for gold to go higher. Gold does not like that. We've got bond prices heading down a little bit as well, heading a little bit lower there. And again, is this going to be a sustained move where we go lower in bonds and higher in yields? Again, no one knows the future, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. Looking at gold, gold actually performed incredibly well today. We have a small day today. It's basically flat. We're on support, and that is holding up very well in the face of a very strong dollar and yields today. So actually it performed very well. Silver also performing well, just moving sideways. And we're right at that kind of support resistance line. There's the line that we're talking about here. You can drag this around somewhere in this region, and we're in that vicinity of that support. So is this going to hold? Are we going to fall lower? Are we going to go back up? I think it depends on where yields go and what yields do. And in the 70s, we saw gold and silver break apart from yields inverting and going up. Are we going to see that same market condition? I don't know. That's what I'm waiting to see. Platinum holding strong. Had a pretty big day yesterday, so it's still holding in there in the face of stronger dollar and yields. XAU to gold ratio, we did see a good amount of positioning in gold and silver mining companies in relationship to gold. So gold was pretty much flat, but people were positioning in the mining companies. So the mining companies outperformed gold. This to me looks good to try to go higher. Now, are we going to go higher? I don't know. But what it looks like to me is that this wants to try to outperform, where the gold and silver mining company is going to try to outperform gold here. And we'll have to see if that actually plays out. But I think it looks really good. We've got a lot of bullish engulfing patterns all at this bottom here. So it's a very strong support level. The CRB index, slightly lower. We're doing just fine. We've broken out of the bigger pattern. Everything looks good. We're just waiting to move higher, grinding on up. CRB to S&P 500 just moving sideways today. There we are today, and still looks good to work its way higher. And even if this pulls back, it's okay, guys. Just ride through it. GDX up, putting in a bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to go higher. We've seen this back here as well. So it does look like it's strengthening for GDX at that support level. GDXJ also putting in a bullish engulfing, looking like it wants to go higher. We have one here. We have one here. This is a low. This is a higher low. Are we going to get an uptrend here? It still qualifies. Downtrend break, higher low, and then we have to break this guy up there. But it looks good to move on up. And SILJ also looking good to move up, bullish engulfing to move higher. Those are reversal candlestick patterns. If you look at it from this, perspective, this is a very short-term chart, 5-minute chart. There's your falling wedge. And if I were to show you guys this, there's your falling wedge. It's broken the falling wedge to the upside, and that is your strength there. So it does, to me, look like we could move to the upside in all of these. And that's what that bullish engulfing represents, is a downtrend line break and a move higher. That's what it means. Crude oil up today, 0.4%, and still looks good to continue on up as it grinds on higher. We want a big old move out of this. Why do we want a big old move? Because that's going to be our first leg. We want the first leg of the third wave to be massive. So we want this to kind of come up, pull back, and then go. Something on the lines of that, whatever it looks like. Nat gas, still looking pretty strong, but we've got a return move. So we broke out, did a return move. It's holding together today, even though we had a big selling pressure day yesterday. So we're above support. Everything looks all right. Now we got to see where we go from here. In my opinion, on the longer term view, I think we are going to go higher. I think that we are kind of rounding out, and we'll eventually work our way on up. XOP, yeah, you know me, right underneath its neckline. Here we go. We got a breakout. We got an inverse head and shoulders. It's a very big pattern. If I were to do a projection on the regular, this projection would go to about $300-ish, somewhere in that range, just under 300. If I were to do a logarithmic, where it gets a little bit jiggy with it, logarithmic is going to be a much larger number. 845, if you look at it from a logarithmic perspective on that, and we'll see which one it goes, how it plays out. But 150 to $800 or 845 or whatever, yeah, I could believe it. I could believe it. OIH also looking pretty good, up 1%. We had the massive falling wedge, the false breakout or breakdown, however you want to say it. Moving on up, and I think we are going to accelerate at some point here to the upside. So that looks very good for energy service companies. I like it. I like it a lot. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we're holding on that support level. 1813. That's where we're getting all jammed up. I said we got to get above 1815. We want to hold above that line. We're right on top of it. We've got some resistance there. We knew that the resistance is waiting for us at the 1815 level. So now we got to keep breaking. We got to break above it. And we could release from this resistance area and start to run when we get freedom from this breakout. So hopefully we can break out soon. To me, it looks like people are positioning in the equities. URA is looking fantastic. We've got a bullish engulfing there. We've broken the downtrend pattern, and I think we are going to head higher at any second. We're already heading higher. So that move could already have begun. URNM also moving on up, 1.87%. It is a bullish engulfing pattern, which means we could potentially head higher. We've broken the pattern, and this is free to hopefully run. We do have a little bit of resistance if you were to kind of look through here. Oh, wow, I'm drawing it straight, guys. Oh, we do have some resistance there, and we'll get through it. Just be patient. It looks very good. And URNJ is doing exactly what we want. We want a leveraged move to the upside. It's up 3% today, bullish engulfing of the candlestick before it. And I do think it's going to go higher. Looks good. TAN still getting hit a little bit, and we are falling back down a little bit. I do think that we will eventually work our way up, like we fell over here. Down, consolidate, double bottom, coming on up. We've come back, squeeze, and we might do that. And hopefully we can go on higher. And that is TAN. COPX heading a little bit lower today, still in this grindage up and down. There we are. So we're still grinding sideways. We've got lithium. Lithium still looks excellent for a move higher. There's your retest move. We're almost to the full back test here. Maybe a hair lower, but I think we're going to go up. REMX also kind of in that general vicinity as well. Is this going to actually break down? I don't know, guys. If it is, it's going to be temporary. We've got the whole pattern over here. Look, the whole pattern's over here. The ideal buy point is generally like right where we're at. So I think it's a good spot to be looking. The S&P 500 down a little bit today, holding in there, and the momentum is still to the downside, no reversal candlesticks. NASDAQ, same thing. There's your bearish engulfing there, and then there's your pullback. So still bearish momentum to the downside. Emerging markets down a little bit. We got stronger yield, stronger dollar, not exactly helping emerging markets as they like weaker dollar, but I still think from this general area, we are going to work and grind on higher. I do think that at some point here, this is a very good price. We've got the pattern, guys. 1, 2, 3 hump. We broke out, and then we had some huge pullback there, kind of unexpected. And what Powell's doing is he's just raising rates like a madman here. He's raising rates, trying to hold everything down. Is it working? To some degree, it is. It is working. How long can he sustain it? I don't know. XHB also hanging in there, but it's not really that strong. I don't see too many large up candlesticks, but I see this bearish engulfing there, and it's struggling to move on higher. So we'll see where this ends up. Moo, slightly lower. I do think this could potentially head lower. The possibility in this. That's what it looks like, kind of a bigger picture view. It looks a little weird. Looks a little bit weird, so I'm going to take some of this off there. We don't need it. Kind of breaking down. We could, I don't know, we're just moving sideways. Copper down a little bit. Is this going to break and move to the downside? I don't know. We're right on support. We'll see if that support holds. But copper is flirting with the downside right now. We jacked rates. The market jacked rates all through here. This was ready to run, I think, to the upside, and then it was rate, all these rate hikes just flying. So they're doing what they need to do. I'll say that. Iron ore moving sideways, still looking fine and good and dandy. We've got nickel down a little bit. It looks like we could go a little bit lower in nickel. Looks like we're losing our support. We could go a little bit lower. Aluminum looking like right on support. We'll see if that support holds for aluminum. Baltic Dry Index a little bit lower, but I still think we're going higher. We have a falling wedge, false break down, and then the breakout to the upside. Newcastle coal up a little bit. I still think this looks good right where it's at. There's your retest move of it. And then Bitcoin slightly lower. Still looks good to go higher, in my opinion. Not much selling pressure there. And same with Ethereum. Looks the same thing. Not much selling pressure. That's generally in favor of moving higher. So that's what I've got for today, guys. That's the overall markets. To me, energy still looks very strong. Oil, nat gas, energy service, all look very strong. Uranium looks very strong. Those are probably the strongest things, at least, that I'm following. Precious metals, they're holding in there. They're on support. We got to see some buying pressure. The market conditions are favoring oil and energy. When the curve inverts, when interest rates go up, that means that it's favoring energy. So that's what I've got for today, guys. So don't forget, we've got the question and answer session tomorrow, 5 p.m. Or no, question and answer session Sunday, 5 p.m. on Sunday Mountain Standard Time. If you're a member, might as well show up and ask questions. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.